Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. So in Revelation 14, verse 6 through end, we'll say, we see that there's three angels. The first angel is saying, give God glory. The second angel is saying that Babylon has fallen. She's caused all the nations, to drink the maddening wine of her adulteries. It has everything to do with the beast and the kings and the people leading them astray, and the devil, this dragon with many heads and horns, that is the ultimate power behind them. And the third angel says that people are going to suffer to the extreme for betraying God. So let's get into it. Then I saw another angel flying in midair, and he had the eternal gospel to proclaim to those who live on the earth, to every nation, tribe, language, and people. So he had the eternal gospel to proclaim to those who live on the earth, to every nation, tribe, language, and people. He said in a loud voice, fear God and give him glory, because the hour of his judgment has come. Worship him who made the heavens, the earth, the seas, and the springs of water. Okay, because God who made the true heaven, the true earth, things how they're supposed to be. Not these people using technology, not these people who are trying to get you to live in a kind of magic spell, trance-like state, but the one true God. The water stands for the peoples, the nations, the multitudes, the languages, the true people of God. The second angel followed and said, fallen, fallen is Babylon the Great, which made all the nations drink the maddening wine of her adulteries. And in Revelation 17, the prostitute, mystery Babylon, Jerusalem, especially Jerusalem of this world, not Jerusalem of heaven, but, of Babylon, Jerusalem of this world, is sitting by many waters. They stand for the peoples, the nations, the multitudes, the languages. And she made all the nations drink the maddening wine of her adultery. She's fallen, she sank. The earth sinks, never to rise again. Isaiah 24. Fallen, fallen is Babylon the Great, which made all the nations drink the maddening wine of her adulteries. Now before she was fallen, she was led by Nimrod. Ham begot Cush, Cush begot Nimrod. Nimrod founded Babylon, made it one of his centers. Nimrod was a mighty warrior before the Lord. There's a proverbial saying, like Nimrod, a mighty hunter, a mighty warrior before the Lord. A third angel followed them and said in a loud voice, if anyone worships the beast in its image and receives its mark on their forehead or on their hand, they too will drink the wine of God's fury, which has been poured full strength into the cup of his wrath. They will be tormented with burning sulfur in the presence of the holy angels and of the Lamb, and the smoke of their torment will rise forever and ever. There will be no rest day or night for those who worship the beast and its image, for anyone who receives the mark of its name. The mark, the boundaries. Marking the boundaries. The craftsman. He marks out a false idol, marking the territory, marking where the new heaven and the new earth is, and where the old heaven and the old earth. Now ask yourselves, let's say you think that I'm magically something I'm not, which is wrong, about where the new heaven and the new earth is. You think God would hold it against me? No, because I'm focusing on moral precision. And it's a matter of interpreting Scripture. One has to obey commands and do God's will to the best of their ability in the divine order, and not cheat anyone out of their right to lead. I'm the one who's been set apart with righteousness. However, if they're wrong, God would hold it against them. Why? Because they're cheating me out of my right to lead, and they're wrong on top of that. And my argument is that some place that's better than this is where mankind will be. The smoke from their torment will rise forever and ever. The earth is like a ship. It's like a vessel. Instead of the sun, which symbolizes the vessel of God, it symbolizes God and the champion being on board, being in the same spirit as the top martial arts, the earth symbolizes something that sinks never to rise again, according to Isaiah 24. Pretty straightforward. Again, the mark of the beast is humanity's number. The mark of their ways, their crafts, idols and craftsmen, their crafts. The snake being described as crafty, dealing in falsehood. Babylon is said to have a magic spell. Those outside the gates are said to practice falsehood and sorcery. Basically sorcery is psychology and chemistry and magic tricks and putting people in trance-like states, hypnosis, mass hypnosis, the evolution of mind control, sciences, if you will, what have you. Pharmakeia, meaning sorcery, right? Chemistry, pharmacology, okay, pharmaceuticals, substances in the air and the water. It's pretty straightforward. This calls for patient endurance on the part of the people of God who keep the commands and remain faithful to Jesus. Remain faithful to me, who keeps God's commands, which are to obey God's Son. Christ is a character in the story, says the work of God is to believe the one he sent. And I told people they should rally to me. They didn't believe me. They didn't believe that that's what you should do, or else they would have done it. Then I heard a voice from heaven say, "Write this, blessed are the dead who die in the Lord from now on." Yes, says the Spirit, they will rest from their labor, for their deeds will follow them. For their deeds will follow them, right? Woe to they who are shamefully exposed as to having what Revelation 19 says is the fine linen. It stands for the righteous acts of the saints, of God's people, what have you. So how did this drama start? How did it, what caused this? Well, there was the murder of Abel, right? There was the rebellion before Noah. Okay, then Noah builds the ark. Then a bunch of other bad things happen. And then it goes to Matthew 27. Let's go to verse 18. For he knew that it was out of self-interest that they handed Jesus over to him. Self-interest. Their money, their job, their synagogue, their followers, their family, their friends. Right? Matthew 10. Whoever loves their son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Why? Because I'm the Son of God and I'm the way to heaven. If you put trying to save the flesh of your kids above their souls, you're said to quote unquote love your son or daughter more than me. If you love God enough, you'll bring them to God and you'll risk their flesh. Therefore you love God more than and his son more than the flesh of your children. But you people don't see it that way because you're the children of the devil, so you don't respond to the actions and the Spirit of God. While Pilate was sitting on the judge's seat, his wife sent him a message. Don't have anything to do with that innocent man, for I have suffered a great deal today in a dream because of it. But the chief priests and elders persuaded the crowd to ask for Barabbas and have Jesus executed. Which of the two do you want me to release to you? Asked the governor. Barabbas, they answered. What shall I do with Jesus, who was called the Messiah? Pilate asked. They all answered, Crucify him. Why? What crime has he committed? Asked Pilate. But they shouted all the louder, Crucify him. When Pilate saw that he was getting nowhere, but instead an uproar was starting, he took water and washed his hands in front of the crowd. I am innocent of this man's blood, he said. It is your responsibility. All the people answered, his blood is on us and our children. Now, it isn't just the Jews who are guilty, it was also the Romans, it was also Pilate. He had the power to tell them that he rules on behalf of Rome and they have to respect his decision. He didn't do that. Okay? His wife's dream was foreshadowing of what happened. His wife, so to speak, because the story isn't exactly true, right? It's superimposed on other stories. But what is superimposed on the woman is in hell with the guy. Pilate and his wife, so to speak. What they're superimposed on, the people, the types of people they're superimposed on. So notice it emphasizes that his wife It's going to suffer, right? The smoke from her torment will rise forever and ever. We see it in Revelation 14 and other places in the Bible as well. Matthew 25. We also see in verse 25, the people answered, his blood is on us and our children. My blood is on the whites, Jews, and LGBT, especially white Jew and LGBT governing class, and the rest of the world, according to their deeds. But first and foremost, the white, it's the Jews, the LGBT governing class. Santa Clara County, Santa Cruz County, certain places more than everywhere else. Okay? And in their own ways, they chose to be selfish, and they chose to play stupid while this was playing out. If they had got together and rallied to Christ, which is me, they could have exposed organized harassment. It might have ended all over the world. But they chose to damn their children to hell because they're such fucking cowards. So when I bring up in the next video that I'm going to upload sometime after this, that they hid in the snow. Okay, I'm not racist, I'm part white. It's because it's in their soul and their very being, who they are, right? Whites being expelled to Europe and living in the snow is just symbolic, right, of who they are to their very core, of who the demons are, okay? The demons inside of them that they have become one with. Man, it's the whole world, right? Babylon's system, the whole world. So they're part of that system, because Babylon saw people from Europe as well. It was a trade center. They're part of that system of the spirits and the demons that were worshipped by the West and Europe, who took over the world, okay, that hid in the snow, right? The Lord is a warrior, the devil hid in the snow like a bitch. And I'm not referring to their flesh. I'm referring to their souls, their spirits, their customs, their traditions, even in Christianity and popular culture, okay? You know, the religion comes from outside Europe. And the European religions they have there, according to Christian popular culture, right, are pure evil. And what evidence do we have to the contrary? Look at Rome. Look at the barbarian territories. What evidence do we have to the contrary?